Welcome to part 3 of Ivanna Lisette Ortiz, the woman who went after Rihanna. I told you I would post right away, so here we are. We're going to jump right back into it. Where we left off is we are talking about the custody of Ivanna's child, who she has with her ex-husband, Jed. And we were talking about how the court was ordering a social investigation because the judge cited concerning testimony about her mental health, okay, which is obviously a big topic of discussion in regards to her alleged situation with Rihanna's home and what she did there. Now, the court also noted that while Ivanna had sought a domestic violence injunction against her ex, one of the incidents that she was actually relying on for that injunction is the incident that actually resulted in her own arrest for domestic violence. And she was actually on probation at the time for that incident. So it kind of made no sense that she was trying to get an injunction using that incident, where it was determined that she was the one who was the aggressor and she was the one who was charged in that incident. So she couldn't really use that to get an injunction against her ex for that. In explaining the custody ruling, one of the things the judge stated was that he wrote the court feared that Ivanna might not return the child to the father. That was one of the issues. Now, let me talk about one of my issues, because I am someone that comes with receipts. And something that frustrates me is when we potentially, allegedly, use the court, especially family court, as a game, especially situations where there is potential serious harm and concerns for a child and who they spend time with, especially if there is potential harm and damage from spending time with a parent and they should not be in their care or with them. Now, the court ordered a serious full physical custody here, right? As I stated before, the ban of this order was not just full physical custody, it barred, okay? Just to reiterate here, in-person, phone, video, text, email, or third-party communication from the child until further order from the court, okay? Every form of communication. So, why is it what I'm about to show you is that this is evidence from Ivanna's YouTube channel? Now, the only difference would be about a day from when Ivanna would upload her videos, is that her child was with her from proof of her videos on, I have the dates. We've got, I'm going to show you January 7th, 2026 and January 24th, 2026. And I don't see anybody else with her. Now, actually, the January 7th, 2026 date, she's not with her. She's going to talk about her seeing her with her grandmother, it is, I believe, and her spending time with her. And then on the January 24th video is when she's physically with her, and then she's going to reference her daughter as kind of like Satan. And you're going to see the concern that I have there, and you can see as to why probably she should not be spending time with her mother and why the court would have concerns of her spending time with her mother. And why are you fighting for your child to not have time with her and saying that you fought for this time? But why is she alone with her mother in a park as her mother's recording herself for nearly an hour, going over her rants and recording herself, but alone with this child? Let's start with the first date, which was January 7th, 2026, where Ivanna speaks about her daughter and about seeing her and speaks of her.
About anything. My daughter does matter to me. And as I've been praying, I have found a lot of freedom in my relationship with my daughter, as a period, and all the dynamics that are there. I have found freedom. So, you know what? Answered prayer. My daughter, meaning in this sense, my cares for Tirza. He's taken up my cares. And what do I tell Tirza? I started telling her, Tirza, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You know, in this sense, as opposed to what I would have preferred, which was obviously to be completely involved in every aspect of her life. But that has actually caused more stress, and not by my fault at all, because, you know, I really believe in the role of a mother. However, my daughter, he has taken up my cares. He has taken up my cares. That fell. That fell. That fell. That fell. Oh, yes. Thank you for my time with my grandmother and my daughter today. We were able to go to a restaurant where we had live music, and we had a really good time at dinner. And it was a good time for us to gather together. Yes, and this is what I prayed to, God. Amazing. Amazing. Earlier in the 60 days of prayer, I said, God, I want to have more time with family. I want to do fun things. And God has surely done this.
Moving on, the next video I'm going to show you is January 24th, 2026. And this is the one that really concerns me. I'm going to make sure that her face is not shown at all in this. I don't like to show minors' faces. But the way she speaks to her, I do not like at all. And again, this seems to be like they are completely alone together. So I don't understand how or why they're alone together, because it is court ordered that they are not supposed to be. So this was not even a supervised visit, it appears. How were they left alone together?
Yeah, you know what? Tirza,
They're biting.
that was so stupid of you. I'm recording and you just showed your butt here. So there, that was Satan. There's Satan. Okay, so there. Whatever, Satan. Back to me now. The mercies of the Lord never come to an end. Who cares? That's your head. Your head's in there still. Are you okay?
No,
Tirza just got bit by an ant. Okay, you know what, Satan? We trust God unto death. Even after we die, he will resurrect us. The same power that's alive in Jesus is alive in me, and he's roaring like a lion. My God's not dead. He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead. He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. See, the enemy wants cheap fame. The enemy wants something. He wants cheap fame, but none of that matches the glory of God. None of that matches the glory of God.
Mind you, I am not against anybody having visitation with their parents. I think everyone should be able to see their parents when it is absolutely right. And I think this girl would need her mother, but if her mother is not in the right state of mind, you can see that small interaction was a very small tidbit of that day, right? That was 40 minutes she spent with her daughter. She was not even spending that time. She was letting her get bit by fire ants and really not even paying attention to her. And then the thing you saw it. You saw it. It wasn't great. It was not great. Now, the most recent update in that case was that Ivanna had this past December filed an appeal regarding the whole situation regarding custody to try to fight the judge's order on full physical custody being awarded to her ex-husband. Obviously, at this point, I don't think anything is going to change in that matter. Now, something that I do want to show you that I found on the files is this very important detail. I want you to look very closely at the third line from the top. Now, obviously, I don't have the full document pulled up here, but I'm pretty sure that this applies to Ivanna. And because, in this case, it mentioned her mental health records and Baker acted, and it describes on April 18th, 2024, on the description, it says, do not possess or own any weapons or firearms. And that is in relation to her entire family court case. And one of the big questions has been, how did she acquire an AR-15 firearm? That is a big question because she was Baker acted. That is on record. She has on record that she is not allowed to possess or own any weapons or firearms in court records. So there doesn't seem any way that she would have been able to pass a background check. So who provided her that firearm? How did she acquire it? Someone else might have been involved in getting that for her, or did she find some loophole in acquiring it? Or was this something that she had previous to any of these things going onto her record? Or did she completely ignore the court's order to not be in possession of them? Because even if this was something previous to that, she would have needed to make sure that they were not in her possession. I did find a way back bit of evidence that she does have some experience, because I saw people questioning, was she capable of doing what she is alleged to have done at Rihanna's home? Now, this is from her Facebook on April 21st, 2013. And it states, went to the GUN range with my stepdad, Juan Samudio, to celebrate. Yep, finished up the master program, and so I took care of those dudes. I don't know what that means by the master program. If somebody has any idea what that entails, enlighten us, but it does show some proof or evidence that this is something that she would have some form of experience, even though this would be 13 years ago. She has been to a range and she has experience. Again, how far her knowledge went and her expertise is something that we don't know at this time. I think it would be interesting to know if there is any record of her visiting any ranges nearby her in Orlando, Florida area, to see if there was any practice with the type of weapon that she specifically did use, allegedly, out here in Los Angeles on Rihanna's home. Can't sit back and say she has never put her hands on a firearm, because here it is right here. Now I'm going to wrap up part 3 here. And then I'm going to have another part 4. This is going to be an ongoing series here with Ivanna. There's a lot that I have on her, but many of you were asking about what she was writing in this whole Praying Woman's Journal and these videos that she was making. So she was doing this 60-day thing. I know it says 60 weeks, but she was doing a 60-day situation here. And this is what it is, the Praying Woman's Journal. It says 60 weeks of prayers, reflection, gratitude, and praise. This is the back cover. It is literally just a $5 book from Five Below, just a blank journal. I'm going to show you the inside of it that she was writing in. So when she was speaking to the camera, this is what she was talking about. She would have a scripture. She would do reflections on it, questions on her mind, concerns on her heart. And then this was the other page. It said, thank you, Lord, prayer requests, and answered prayers. And that's it. That's all this was that she was holding up on video and that she was speaking of. These were essentially the prompts. And so you could hear when she would kind of speak about that in some of the clips. If you hear any of the way she speaks, sometimes she would start with that and then she would go off, of course, on some of her tangents that just did not make any sense. This is all that she was basically writing in. It was just a blank, very cheap journal that she was writing in, then kind of reading prompts off to her videos, and then she was just reading from the Bible, and she would just go off on over hour-long tangents on her YouTube channel. So I know some of you were kind of asking in the comments on the previous video I had that just kind of clipped together all of the times that she mentioned Rihanna. So that's what that book was. Thank you so much for tuning into part 3. I will have some more for you in a part part 4 to go into on more of her parasocial relationships that she has gone into regarding celebrities, more beyond Rihanna that she has posted about. So I will let you know about that. And I will have more on her upcoming court appearance that will be occurring tomorrow, Wednesday, March 25th in Los Angeles court system. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't, please make sure that you are following me for more information on this case and many others that I do cover. Please tap that heart button. It helps me out greatly. And as always, be safe, be kind to one another, and I will see you all in the next one.